Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is January 26th, 2020. The breaking news today. At the time the Pro Bowl was kicking off, just hours before the 60-second Grammys will begin, Kobe Bryant, legendary basketball star in the NBA, dead at 41, along with his 13-year-old daughter and other people traveling with him in the helicopter that crashed. If you missed the work I did yesterday, I did two videos on LeBron and Kobe. I did one before the game was played with the significance of LeBron James passing Kobe Bryant in points scored to become third all time, January 25th, 2020. If you missed that video, you definitely want to check it out. I explained how in the world of sports, major feats are synced with ritual murders. And I talked about how Moses Malone and Daryl Dawkins, Philadelphia basketball players, Kobe's from Philly. LeBron passed Kobe yesterday in Philly. I talked about how Moses Malone and Daryl Dawkins were both ritualistically murdered for Kobe's last NBA game against the Utah Jazz, April 13th, 2016. Moses Malone again died at age 60. Kobe played his last game scoring 60 points. Kobe played his last game against Utah, just like how Moses Malone was drafted by Utah out of high school, not unlike Kobe Bryant, not unlike LeBron James, both high school stars. So what I didn't think would happen and what I couldn't have imagined yesterday talking about this is that we'd already have an example to talk about another ritual murder and it being Kobe Bryant the day after LeBron passes him in his hometown. I've been decoding since the news. I know about 1,000 of you guys have called me on the Gematria hotline to let me know about this. I've been decoding the whole time, so I have a lot of information here. And let's just go through it. So it's the 26th. I talked about how significant this number 26 is yesterday. Yesterday was January 25th, 1 plus 25, 26. Now we're actually on the 26th day of the month where Kobe dies. If you have not read my book, again, come to Gematria Effect News right up here at the top. Click ebook. The book's here, 800 pages, instant download. The first chapter is why there are 26 letters in the English alphabet. This is what is known as the God number in Gematria. This is a very special number, 26. Brian's 26, Jordan's 26, Game is 26, God's 26, and the list goes well beyond that. 26 is the number. It's not an accident that the English alphabet is 26 letters, and it's not an accident that players like Bryant and Jordan have literally been worshipped like gods by sports fans in recent decades. Guarantee you there's a lot of people who are completely heartbroken today by this news. I'd say, I'm 36 years old, I'd say, people around my age, you survey 1 out of 2 sports fans who's about my age, they're going to tell you Kobe Bryant's their favorite athlete. The word athlete also equals 26. I should have had that up here. And again, Kobe's from Philly. Philadelphia equals 101. That's the 26th prime number. This news was announced as the Pro Bowl was kicking off. Pro Bowl 101, the 26th prime. And like I said yesterday I covered the significance of LeBron's ritual and the upcoming Super Bowl 54. Now Kobe's part of the death rituals for Super Bowl 54, as we'll get to. I'm just making the point, it's not an accident this news broke at the same time the Pro Bowl in the NFL was kicking off. Sports are a web of information. So, you know what? Let's just cover this real quick. Again, last night. So realize before this game was played, I talked about the significance of 54 before the game was played, because Kobe Bean Bryant equals 54. The date was January 25th, 25/1, like 251, the 54th prime. Last night, LeBron passed Kobe, scoring the 54th points for the Lakers. No accident. And if you saw this game, the score was 48-51. The Lakers and Philly were in a close race, and then you could see it went into tank mode. The Lakers just started playing dumb, throwing the ball away, committing dumb offensive fouls, hoisting up bricks left and right, like no follow-through, not even trying to make shots. And the next thing you knew, the game was out of hand. And the next thing you know, the score's 54-74, 20-point deficit. Again, it was no accident they let Philly get up to 74 before they scored their 54th point. This is the 74th NBA season, the year of Zion Williamson, which equals 74. Masonic occult killing, Gematria English, they all sum to 74. So anyway, this was a ritual last night, and this has everything to do with Kobe's death today. If you missed yesterday's videos, definitely check them out. A lot more that's important. Yesterday was 26 days after LeBron's birthday when he passed Kobe. Yesterday, the day that LeBron passed Kobe, was 26 days after LeBron's birthday. You see? Okay. So let's get into the rest of this. This happened on a Sunday, right? Sunday's the one day of the week that sums to 33, like Kobe, like LeBron, like James. When Kobe was passed yesterday, it was done in the 33,000 points range. And here I can just make that point. Let me just show you real quick in case you need some clarification. Hold up. I got it here on the post from yesterday. So, LeBron before yesterday was on 626. Notice he came in with 33,626 before passing Kobe at 33,643. 26 again, 26 days after Bron's birthday. But 33,000 and some points, so they were in the 33K range when this happened, for third all time. Next up, Karl Malone, and then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. By the way, Abdul-Jabbar equals 74, 74th NBA season. A lot of rituals we've talked about this year on Patreon between Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's two NBA teams. One's the Lakers, one's the Bucks. Anyhow, Sunday's the one day of the week that sums to 33, like Kobe, like LeBron, like James. Remember, LeBron was the first player to come back from down 3-1 in the NBA Finals. He was the 33rd player and team to try. NBA Finals equals 33, like Cleveland. He came back and won it on the real King James's birthday, and we won a lot of people a ton of money because I said they're coming back. And even before they were down 3-1, I told people all year LeBron was winning that year. It was all about King James. Sure enough, he won it on the real King James's birthday, June 19th. First player in 33 attempts to do it in the NBA. Now, with regards to today being the 60-second Grammys, and again, this is what I've been preaching for years. Ritual murders and entertainment, always around the time of award ceremonies, always around the time of sports championships. I always point out that this year, the coldest, darkest time of the year is when you see the most deaths. Around the time of the Super Bowl, Grammys, it's just clockwork. And with regards to it being the 60-second Grammys, notice Grammys is 33, but the 60-second, Sacrifice equals 62, Faustian Bargain equals 62. What that is a deal with the devil. If you sell your soul for fame and riches and material gain, that's considered a Faustian bargain. So many celebrity deaths in connection to this number 62. Here's the latest. Kobe dead on the day of the 62nd Grammys. And that story, where that comes from, that terminology, Faustian bargain, the character who sells a soul in the novel is named Dr. Faustus, and he's also referred to as Faust. And just notice, Dr. Faustus is 47. 47 is a special number in itself, a number that represents time, the number that's so symbolic to the Masons. We're going to talk about Shaquille O'Neal, who's 47 years old. Kobe wore 24. LeBron wears 23. Added up, 47. Faust is also 67, like blood sacrifice. Kobe's dead on a date with 67 and 47 numerology, along with his daughter. So the story is Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash. So many celebrities have died in helicopter crashes. You know, one of the most famous of all time, Stevie Ray Vaughan, whose best-selling album was Texas Flood, and then Texas flooded on the anniversary of his death a couple years ago. It's another story, but Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash in Calabasas Sunday morning. TMZ Sports has confirmed. Kobe was traveling with at least 3 other people in his private helicopter when it went down. A fire broke out. Emergency personnel responded, but nobody on board survived. 5 people are confirmed dead. We're told Vanessa Bryant was not among those on board, and we'll get to what's interesting about that. If you know my work in 38, Kobe's dead exactly 38 weeks after his wife's birthday. We'll get to that. Like I always say, all these athletes, they're in arranged marriages, and their whole careers are even synced up with the spouses from these arranged marriages. Notice Calabasas, where he died, has that gematria 67, like the date numerology. Has gematria 59 and 67, like Black Mamba is nickname. Remember, 59 is that number coded all over Black history. Negro, Slave, Blues, Rasta, they all sum to 59. Black History Month, February, typically ends on the 59th day of the year, except for leap years. The NFL called this the year of the black quarterback. Patrick Mahomes just advanced to the Super Bowl in a game 35-24, 59 points. It's in Miami Gardens this year, which equals 59. Lamar Jackson, the blackest quarterback in the league, scored 59 points week 1 in Miami. Another ritualistic number. That's why they called LeBron the Black Mamba. Code that 59 on him. Michael Jordan equals 59. Of course, so many parallels between Kobe and Michael. Okay, so other things. Let's not forget that Satanic equals 67 too. Again, Faustian bargain. Faust, 67, making a deal with the devil. So, Kobe. Again, his name, his full name, Kobe Bean Bryant, the son of Joe Jelly Bean Bryant. Kobe Bean Bryant, 54. 2 years ago. 2 years ago when we really had the Super Bowl nailed down early, when we said it was going to be Patriots and Eagles after week 3. You might recall the Eagles were in L.A., and L.A. was the huge favorite, but we said, no, this is the Eagles year, and they took that game. Kobe was part of the ritual singing Fly, Eagles, Fly, and I pointed out back then, Fly, Eagles, Fly, Kobe Bean Bryant, the stuff's not an accident. And now here he is just dead right before Super Bowl 54. So just making the point of why Kobe goes at this time. And notice Kobe's 41 years old. Super Bowl 41. Kobe Bryant without the middle name 41. Last night, King James passed him. King 41. And of course, Kobe and Shaq, they were the unstoppable duo in the rigged NBA. Today's 41 days from Shaq's birthday. And notice Shaq's 47 years old right now. You might recall his sister died by the numbers this past year. Covered that at the time. It was on a channel that was deleted 2 channels ago. If you're new here, the reason this channel has such small subscribers is because it's been deleted 20 times. Had we not been deleted by Google so many times, we'd have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. People would really be receiving this message like they deserve. But understand, Google is part of the cabal. Google does not want this knowledge out there. It's why this channel is shadow banned. It's why it's been deleted so many times. It's why, you guys who subscribe get unsubscribed. Some of you don't realize because you probably have 1,000 subscriptions and you just forget about the channel. But Google does everything in their power to keep this channel as small as possible. Google, therefore, to me, is responsible for these ritual murders just as much as the people who actually do it. And again, Google is part of the cabal, so yeah, they absolutely are. It's why they do not want this knowledge out there. But with regards to Kobe being 41 and this being 41 days from Shaq's birthday, LA's 41. Recall we covered the death of Joanne Buss. Joanne Buss of Jerry Buss of the Lakers. She died December 16, 2019, which was also a date with 67 numerology. That was 41 days before Kobe's death. Again, LA 41, the LA superstar. Joanne Buss's death comes 41 days before Kobe's. Joanne had that 54 connection as well. I'm watching the people with the 54 connections pile up in the morgue this past year. Covered way too many of them. Just even covered one this morning on the death of another drummer with a 54 connection. His death was in the news yesterday, the same day that LeBron passed Kobe on the 54th point. So, Kobe's dad, Joe Jellybean Bryant, from his birthday to his son's death is his 100th day of his age. It's also 3 months and 8 days. But the 100 stands out because, again, when you write out 100, it equals 54. This is the 100th NFL season concluding with Super Bowl 54. Like we just talked about in the college championship. Clemson, Dabu Swinney, the championship was 54 days after his birthday on a 54-date numerology in New Orleans, which equals 54. For Trevor Lawrence, it was his 100th day of his age that game. And Trevor Lawrence became 25-1 as a starter, like 251, the 54th prime. Same day Kobe got passed by LeBron with the 54th point scored in the game. So 3 months and 8 days, again, death, murder, killing, RIP 38. We'll expand on that in a moment because we're going to look at how this death comes 38 weeks after his wife's birthday. And that's actually right here. So his wife, Vanessa Lane Bryant, of course, years ago, big story that Kobe cheated on his wife, and then he got her the huge diamond to make up for it. Might even have to go back and look at that story later. But here it is. Her birthday is May 5th to January 26th is exactly 38 weeks. 38. Again, death 38. If you're new here, the movie poster, Murder by Numbers, the E's changed to the 3, the B to the 8. No other letters are changed, just 3-8. Murder's 38. Killings 38. Death's 38. RIP's 38. This code of letters and numbers is Gematria 38. English is 38. It comes from Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism. Kabbalah's 38. Again and again, just shows up around deaths. The video I did this morning on the drummer, he was in the band Death, which turns 38 years old this year, and now he's dead. And again, he has the 54 connection. With regards to this being 266 days after his wife's birthday, remember, 266 is a number of the Jesuits, and Jesuit order equals 54. Jesuit order 54. The Jesuit motto in Latin has a gematria value of 266 as well as 122. That's interesting because the current Pope, Pope Francis, is the first publicly Jesuit Pope. Pope Francis is 122. And San Francisco is named after the same thing that Pope Francis is named after, St. Francis of Assisi. And, of course, the 49ers are in the Super Bowl. San Francisco equals 122 as well. It's on the 122nd meridian. If you look up Jimmy Garoppolo's stats right now, he's 12-2 at home as a starter. He just did that in the conference championship. And Jesuit equals 84, like Pope Francis has 84 date birth numerology. Sunday is also the one day of the week that equals 84. And, of course, it was the Catholics and Jesuits who helped change the day of worship from Saturday to Sunday. But Jesuit Order 54, they got that strong 266 connection. And again, the Jesuits and the Scottish Rite are the ones that really run the world of professional sports. And both of them are Masonic in nature. Both operate by this code. The NBA Finals this year will begin June 4th, 2020. June 4th. From Kobe's death to the start of the finals is a span of 131 days. This number is always related to sports championships and riddles. So the riddle for the NBA Finals runs through Kobe's death. And notice when you write out helicopter, it's 57. He died in a helicopter crash. And you write out NBA Finals, it's 57. When you write out 57 as a word, it's 131, like championship, like Super Bowl. Again, 131 days from his birthday. And it's just like how in the divisional round of the playoffs, again, this year was tough with the playoffs, but I told people the best bet you could make in the divisional round for a two-team parlay, the very safest, was to take the Packers and the 49ers to meet again in the conference championship, because it would be 57 days from their regular season meeting, which just made too much sense for the NFC championship. And then sure enough, the score ended up being 37-20 in the NFC championship, 57 points for just another example of 57. Same thing, year after year, the same numbers. Clockwork. You know, we had the Nationals beating the Astros because we saw how Nationals equaled 57 and the Astros could pick up the 57th loss in their postseason history. We also had Nationals over Astros before the postseason even began. Huge odds. Helicopter also carries that gematria 666, like the NBA Finals, number that they like to do a lot of rituals with. You know, the other year they said LeBron was the first player to go to 6 straight finals since 66. When Bill Russell did it. And LeBron equals 66, LeBron James 66, Lakers 66, number of the beast 66, Revelation that teaches about 666 is the 66th book of the Bible. So we've talked about helicopter rituals and 666 a number of times. Here's another. For Kobe, today he's died on his 157th day of his age. Remember yesterday when he got passed, it was his 156th day. Philadelphia 76ers 156. Now is the 157th day of his age. And I talked about this number in yesterday's video because Kobe Bryant's 157. Staples Center where he played is 157. 157 is the 37th prime. Los Angeles is 37 where LeBron plays now when he passes Kobe in his hometown of Philly. And If you write out the phrase helicopter crash, it equals 79 and 83 like murder. 79 is the 22nd prime. Super Bowl 54 coming up is on 2-2. Remember, basketball equals 22. He's dead 22 days before Jordan's birthday. We just saw the return of Zion Williamson for his first NBA game on the 22nd day of the year. Of course, he scored 22 points. David Stern died on the 22 date numerology. Again, all this stuff is perfect ritual. Notice LeBron Raymond James. LeBron's full name is also 79. Zion Williamson is 79. So is New Orleans Pelicans. And speaking of Zion, he's going to play on ABC tonight. It's his third career NBA game. Tonight's the game where more people are going to see him than ever. Zion Williamson. And again, if you guys are new here, there's 4 base ciphers. You got to know all 4. Zion Williamson is 74 in the most pure cipher. Like, this is the 74th NBA season. Like how, again, when LeBron passed Kobe last night, he made the score 54. Kobe beating Bryant 54 on 25/1, like 251 the 54th prime, while the Lakers were stuck on 74 points. And then Zion Williamson's also 79, which is the 22nd prime, like how he makes his appearance on the 22nd, scoring 22. And of course, he scored 17 in the fourth quarter, and I did a video before the game was played on the significance of 22 and 17 in the ritual. But his team, New Orleans Pelicans, 79. And again, Zion Williamson, look at this. So we covered the 74th NBA season. Remember, the Zion Williamson sweepstakes were May 14th, 2019. That is the anniversary of the establishment of Zionist Israel, May 14th, 1948. Think about it. What are the odds? And do you remember what ESPN did the day before that? They had a story about all the Jewish rabbis praying in New York for Zion to come to the Knicks. And again, Zion, the Jewish nation, the sweepstakes on the anniversary of the establishment of the nation. Remember, Jewish is 74th, the alphabetic order, just like Gematria, just like English, just like Masonic, just like occult. 74 is the number. But these other 2 numbers, whoops, I'm missing a letter here, an L. Zion Williamson, 191, 187. Again, we were just talking about the Jesuits. Society of Jesus. That's their official name, Society of Jesus. 191, 187, 79. Very similar to Zion Williamson, right? And by the way, Jesus is 74, Cross is 74, Gospel 74, Parables is 74. I forgot one of the things I need to put in there, but did I say Messiah? Messiah. Anyway, the Society of Jesus. Those are the Jesuits. Jesuit Order 54. So Zion Williamson just has all these significant numbers. And this is what it is. This is what goes on in the world of sports. It's a trade-off. Kobe's dead. This NBA legend. Now they're in the beginning of making this new NBA legend, Zion Williamson, in the 74th NBA season. It's no secret who runs the NBA. You know? It's no secret. Same people I've been telling you about for years. Exact people I'm talking about right now. I don't think there's ever been a more consistent person on the planet. You know? Think about how many videos. It's a damn shame that Google's deleted me so many times, because there literally would be hundreds of thousands of subscribers on this channel by now. And there'd be thousands and thousands of videos to just go back and see how repetitive I've been, how consistent the patterns have been, what goes on every year around these sports times. That's why we've been deleted, though. Google doesn't want that archive of knowledge and evidence up here. That's the problem with this day and age we live in. Too Orwellian, too easy to destroy information by these tech companies. By the way, Kobe has died a span of 163 days. Oh, I forgot to tell you one other thing about Zion Williamson. I'll just show you right now. You see this 187 right here? His birthday's July 6th. Zion Williamson. July 6th is the 187th day of the year. You see that? July 6th. Look at this. July 6th is the 187th day of the year. So, let's just measure. Just so you can see this. From Kobe's death to Zion's upcoming birthday, his 20th birthday in 2020, So from 1/26/2020 to July 6th, 2020, it's a span of 163 days. That is the 38th prime number. Uh-oh, Derek's calculator's having trouble. Let's try it one more time. 163, 38th prime. Again, death, murder, killing, RIP, all 38. So, yeah, this is what it is. A web of related rituals. In the article, they pointed out that Kobe played 20 seasons. Again, it's 2020. I've predicted that this is going to be a bad year for celebrity death. I especially think in the world of rock and roll, because rock is 20. And I said that before The Rock's father died on the 20 date numerology, which was January 15th, 2020, when they announced the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees, which falls on The Rock's birthday, the ceremony. Of course, his father's death was synced up with the 49ers, as we talked about. The Rock from the Bay Area. So death 20, big death in 2020 for the man who played in 20 seasons. Today's news is 27 days after LeBron's birthday, just like how he passed Kobe Bryant. Bryant 26 days after his birthday. Now Bryant dead on the 26th. We call 27 the ritual number. That's why you have that 27 club. Notice Kobe Bean Bryant also sums to 243. That's how many years old the United States is right now, 243. In the video I did earlier today, I'll just make the point again. The planet Venus equals 54 like Kobe Bean Bryant. The planet Venus takes 243 Earth days to make one rotation. We talked about this at the beginning of the year. By the way, 62 sacrifice. The Steelers wide receiver coach Daryl Drake died at age 62. And there's a lot to it. But from his birthday to his death was his 243rd day of his age. Pittsburgh Steelers 243. And Daryl Drake, 54 like Jesuit order. And again, this matters because astrology is a piece of this. Venus is very important to the Masons. Again, this code is very much Masonic because Masonry is based in Kabbalah. And just to make a point about that real quick, Kobe Bryant and the base ciphers, we've talked about the 41, we've talked about the 157, we'll definitely talk about the 113 in a moment. But the 58, Kobe Bryant 58, Los Angeles Lakers, Los Angeles Lakers 58. Remember, Daryl Dawkins dropped dead at age 58, synced with Kobe's retirement, and then Moses Malone died at 60, synced with Kobe's last game where he scored 60 points. They died days apart, Philadelphia basketball stars. But Freemasonry, 58. Secret Society, 58. Rosicrucian, 58. And in light of this ritual being connected to King James, who has the Bible named after him, who LeBron's nicknamed after, King James died at age 58. He was a Freemason and a Rosicrucian. He died unexpectedly. He was healthy, and then he just died at 58. And he's got a Bible named after him. Again, this knowledge is biblical. Biblical's 58. Important name for the... Hold on, I got to make sure I spell right. Sometimes it's hard to spell big words when you're talking. Hold on. There it is. Tetragrammaton, 58. Tetragrammaton is the name for the four-letter name of God, which comes from Hebrew, which in Hebrew sums to 26, just like God sums to 26 in English. Just like Bryant, like Jordan, like Game, like LeBron passing Kobe 26 days after his own birthday. But anyway, we're coming back to how Kobe Bean Bryant has the gematria 243, the relationship with Venus, the fact that the United States of America is 243 years old right now, which it is. It'll turn 244 on July 4th, 2020. The United States of America also sums to 261. Today's date can be written 26/1. And USA is also 41, like Kobe Bryant, like King, like how Kobe's dead at 41. And think about it. This is the buzz through the nation. This is the news through the nation. Think about how the news, it reaches us in moments through our phones, our televisions, the radio. I mean, literally, I probably have 1,000 phone calls and text messages in an hour's time about this news. This is what everyone cares about. You know, Kobe Bryant. And why do you guys care more? Because Kobe has been made into this huge American sensation. this giant star, just like David Stern said. Remember, David Stern just died at age 77. And David Stern said the NBA is not about basketball. It's about making stars. He said that in 1984 when he became the commissioner. He dies at 77. Stars is 77 and 58 like Kobe Bryant. And so is this, 77. Zionist, 77. It's also 41, like how Kobe's dead on the day that Zion Williamson's going to play on ABC and be seen by the most eyes he's ever been seen in the NBA. So just to remind people of some other things we covered yesterday, and about how synced up the NBA is. Jordan's last career game was in Philly, Kobe's hometown. And by the way, Kobe scored 101, or the Lakers scored 101 in Kobe's last game, and the Jazz went down with 96. I'll show you why that's funny. In Philadelphia, where Kobe's from, is 101, and Lakers is 96. And again, you learn gematria, you just see how all these numbers are used in so many rituals, night after night. You got to know it forwards and backwards. Jazz get their 42nd loss of the season, losing to the Lakers with 96. Look at it, 42-96. Big numbers with the Freemasons, 96-42. Masons, keepers of knowledge, 96-42. The divisors of 42 add up to 96. Math equals 42. You know, the language they speak through. So anyway, this game right here, Kobe's last game, April 13th, 2016, and Jordan's last game, April 16th, 2003. Look at this. Okay, so from Jordan's last game to Kobe's last game, and again, Jordan played his last game in Philly. Kobe's from Philly. It was 678 weeks. And notice, with the alphabetic order, Kobe Bryant's 113, just like Michael Jordan, just like Utah Jazz. Kobe played his last game against Utah. They're the only team in the league that sums to 113. Kobe's retirement poem, Dear Basketball, which won him an Oscar by the numbers, 113. But any word that has a value of 113, there's an accompanying cipher where you just multiply the alphabetic order times 6. 678. 678. So Dear Basketball, Utah Jazz, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant's all 678. They play their last games exactly 678 weeks apart. And if you think that's a coincidence, don't forget that on the same day, hold on, I gotta make sure I got it here. We just talked about in yesterday's thread. Here, I'll pull it up. On the same day that Kobe played his last game 678 weeks later, Curry and Thompson set an NBA record. Well, they set two. One was for teammates. They were the first two teammates to ever combine for 678 three-pointers. Where is it at? Hold up. This is the one. Okay. So Curry and Thompson, they won their 73rd game, eclipsing Michael Jordan's win record of 72. And remember, if you go back to Jordan's record season was 72 games, his 73rd game that season was against Del Curry, the father of Steph Curry. Steph Curry's born on the 73rd day of the year. His team goes on to win a record 73 games. Last year, Curry got shamed in the NBA Finals to conclude the 73rd NBA season. Remember, his team was down 2. They give the ball to Curry. There's time on the clock. He gets triple teamed. His whole team's wide open. He can pass it to anybody. Anybody on the team would be able to go in and lay in the ball or dunk the ball to tie up the game. But what's Curry do? With triple team, he doesn't pass to anybody, and he hoists up a brick from way behind the three-point line to lose the game. And if you guys think sports are real at all after watching shit like that year after year, you really got to pull your head out of your fucking ass, because it's fucking garbage what they give us in professional sports. It's just bullshit after bullshit. Nobody's paid millions of dollars and is that fucking dumb to do what Steph Curry did to conclude last year's finals. But anyway, 678 combined threes. Pro sports are a joke. They are rigged and scripted to a T because, again, they're using technology to ensure outcomes. Go watch the Rams field goal to advance to the Super Bowl last year, the 57-yarder, the championship number. That ball was slicing outside, and curve back in. And I think the Rams might have had another field goal in that game earlier. Did it go to overtime? Go just watch the highlights of the scores, the field goals in that game. And it happens in plenty of games where these balls are bending a certain direction and then just in midair they change direction and fly back the other way. Same shit with the basketballs. Watch Damian Lillard's. Oh my God, that was my favorite because last year we called the Damian Lillard game winner before the game was even played, and the Blazers winning by 1 point so that they wouldn't cover the 1.5 point spread because all the money was the other way, but it made too much sense for the Blazers to win on that day. I said, watch, Lillard game winner, Blazers win by 1 and don't cover. Exactly what happened. And Lillard did it with a 37-foot three-pointers, how they reported it. Portland equals 37. I forget, they got like some 37, maybe 37th win at home over Oklahoma City, something like that. But just watch that shot and watch how that ball curves through the air. I'm sorry. Basketballs don't move like baseball pitches. Technology is in effect to ensure the script is perfect. No room for human error when Vegas is making sure they're ripping off the gamblers. Technology is legit. Ask yourself, how are you listening to a person talk through a computer screen 1,000 miles from you or further right now in real time? You don't think they got technology to make sure balls go through hoops and footballs go through uprights? Again, you got to pull your head out of your ass. You're a caveman or woman. Okay. So 678. And then the other thing was, both of these games were going on at the same time. Kobe's last game, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson hitting the three-point record, surpassing Jordan's win mark of 72. It was all going on at the same time, and we pointed out that Joe Jellybean Bryant, the father of Kobe, had been drafted 41 years earlier. And he was drafted by Golden State, the Warriors, and then he ended up playing in Philadelphia. And remember, the old Philadelphia basketball team was the Philadelphia Warriors, but we were saying, look at this. Kobe retires 41 years after his father gets retired, Golden State 41, Kobe Bryant 41, and now he's dead at age 41 on his 157th day of his age, And Kobe Bryant again, 58, just like how King James, the real King James, dropped dead at age 58. And King's 51, and LeBron passed him yesterday. And you know what? King's also 67, and Kobe's dead on a 67 date numerology. I forgot that piece until now. Okay. I'll hit the Moses Walker and Daryl Dawkins thing, too, again in a moment. Because that's what I talked about yesterday, just before the record was broken, is just how people die for these rituals. It's unbelievable that Kobe's dead the next day, at least reportedly. And then that's, part of me wonders, are these people really dead? Was the movie Us trying to tell something? Or is like a lot of people living underground? Is that where the spot is to be at this day and age? It's just like, are they really killing Kobe? Are they really killing these people like this? So Jordan, his birthday's February 17th. I forgot to put the screenshot up here, but that is Jordan's birthday. Same birthday as Sony Michel, who was synced up with the major Super Bowl ritual last year. But hold on, Jordan birthday. Jordan's about to turn 57. There he is. He'll turn 57 February 17th. And Kobe's dead 22 days before his birthday. Remember, just using the alphabetic order. Michael Jordan. Hold on, I must be Michael Jordan. 113. He's got the 59 and 76. Remember words like Negro, Slave, Blues, Rasta. They're all 59, 76. Barack Obama, Million Man March on the day, leaving 76 days left in the year. But Michael Jordan's got that 113 too. Like Kobe Bryant played his last game against the Utah Jazz. Jordan once retired on January 13th, I think in 99. Kobe's retirement poem, Dear Basketball. Just last month, Kobe made the news for orchestrating traffic after a wreck. That was on Kobe's 113th day of his age, of course. Okay. Kobe's jersey retirement, December 18th, 2017. That was 770 days ago at the Staples Center. Staples Center, 77. So Secret Society, again, David Stern just died at 77. And that game, they did that against Golden State. Of course, they had to do it against Golden State, right? They already done all these rituals with Golden State and Kobe. That 41 connection, now dead at 41. This was 117 days after Kobe's birthday. His name also has that 117 connection. If you counted the span of days, it was 118 days, and that's the death number, and now he's dead. Ugh. Ugh. When you write out 13, it equals 117. Kobe was the 13th pick in the draft, passed over by a lot of teams. LA, KB, his initials 13. They did the retirement on the day, leaving 13 days left in the year. Remember, he's dead at 41. 41's the 13th prime. LA and KB are also 41 like Kobe Bryant and Golden State. And again, his father, Joe Jellybean Bryant. He's a Philly native like Kobe. He was the 14th pick of the 75 draft, 41 years before Kobe retired in 2016. And look at, again, when they took Kobe out, man, they took him out with 4.1 seconds on the clock. And I still remember, doing these videos and just the types of comments people leave. That's so dumb to think that they can stop the clock on a 10th. Yeah, no, actually, it's not dumb. You pay attention when you know geometry. You see they do this shit in all sports, college and pro. And when you know the numbers, you see exactly what they're doing. I'd been talking about Kobe in 41 a million times before this day even happened. And now look at it, dead at 41. Again, just talking about all the same stuff back there. Remember when Steph Curry's record three-point streak was snapped at 157 games in a 117-97 loss? That's when Kobe was still playing. 157 games at the Staples Center. Staples Center 157, Kobe Bryant 157. Now he's dead on his 157th day of his age. That's the 37th prime. His wife's 37 years old. She's coming up on her 38th birthday. Again, she's dead, or Kobe's dead 38 weeks after her birthday. Kobe Bryant's also got that 58 like Golden State, like Oakland. Of course, now they're playing in San Francisco, but at the time they were in Oakland. It's just, Here, and let me pull this up too. Moses Malone, Kobe. Because again, this is what I was just talking about yesterday before this news, before the record was passed. Moses Malone, again, died at 60. And Daryl Dawkins died right next to him. Philadelphia basketball stars. And Kobe ended up scoring 60 at the end of the season. Moses Malone dies at the beginning of the year at 60. Kobe finishes his career at 60. Again, they both have the Philadelphia connection, plus Kobe finished his career against Utah. Moses Malone was drafted out of high school by the Utah Stars. And from Moses Malone death on September 13th. Remember, Tupac Shakur died on that day too. 13/9, like 139. Freemasonry equals 139. Tupac Shakur 139. But from the death to Kobe's last game was 213 days later. And of course, 213 is the Los Angeles area code. Racism equals 213, the N-word equals 60, like Kobe scored 60, like Moses Malone died at 60, and Daryl Dawkins died at 58. So add their ages together. Again, Kobe Bryant 58, Los Angeles Lakers 58, add their ages together, 118 death number. But you know what else it is? It's a Philadelphia number too, man. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is 118, like death in the Jewish cipher. 58 and 60, Daryl Dawkins and Moses Malone. And again, I know I talked about this yesterday, but just to be redundant, with regards to racism in 213, a couple years ago, LeBron James, there was a big story about how in his home in the 213 area code, it was spray painted with the N-word. And that was just before LeBron James, the story came out just before LeBron James' next playoff game, which was his 213th playoff game, which was June 1st, the start of the NBA Finals that year. And if I remember right, I think June 1st even leaves 213 days left in the year. Yes, it does. So that's how tight that ritual is with LeBron getting his house spray painted with the N-word. It came before his 213th playoff game, which was game one of the finals, June 1st, the day leaving 213 days left in the year. And notice with regards to June 1st, finals is 61 as well. See? So, and with regards to the N-word being spray painted on LeBron's house, LeBron James is 42. So is Lakers. He wasn't there yet. But so is the N-word. You know, they made Jackie wear number 42, Jackie 42. Remember, the first black baseball player in white major league was Moses Walker, 42. He played in exactly 42 games in the sitcom Martin. He lives in apartment number 42. You got Black History on the Bus, 42. Black History Month is February, February 42. You know, you got Muhammad Ali, who supposedly changed his slave name to Muhammad Ali. I guarantee you it's a sick joke. Muhammad Ali's 42. Ali's 59, like Negro Slave Blues Rasta. Remember, I told you Muhammad Ali would die at age 74 years before he did, and he did. On June 3rd, like they said, the Prophet Muhammad lived at age 63. Again, they kill a lot of people in this world, a lot of big names by this code. Pretty much everyone in the world of celebrity goes out by this, unless there is some legitimate accident. But, yeah, I mean, it was just yesterday talking about how people were killed for Kobe, and now Kobe's dead. It's just, at least reportedly. Len Bias is another dude who died 213 days after his birthday. And don't forget, since Tupac Shakur died the same day that Moses Malone did, Tupac's last album, All Eyes on Me, came out February 13th. And then he died 213 days later. February 13th, 2/13, dead 213 days later. Death is 213 in the Satanic Cipher. Tupac supposedly died from complications due to a drive-by shooting, 213. And his mother was a Black Panther. The film All Eyes on Me starts with his mother, the Black Panther, at the courthouse. So all of this stuff is ritual. There's a reason they do these numbers. And again, just the obvious 213 is that's the LA area code. So a lot of people have died for LeBron over the years. Athletes, other entertainers, we've covered them. Now it's Kobe. But it's more than for just LeBron. It's the 74th NBA season. It's Zion Williamson. It's the Grammys. It's the upcoming Super Bowl. Again, it's a web. It's a web of deceit. And remember, the term Svengali in the most pure cipher is 35. 35. Just like King James is 35. And LeBron right now is 35 years old. Remember, Svengali is represented by a spider. It's to do with the web, the invisible web, or the web not seen to the common person in the entertainment industry, where the evil hidden hand is making entertainers do things that they would rather not do. And we talked about this when Aretha Franklin died. She died the same day that Elvis died. And when Elvis died, she was 35 years old at the time. There was a whole bunch of 35. And then right after her death, Madonna, Aretha Franklin died on Madonna's birthday. Madonna went on the MTV Music Awards and gave a speech to Aretha Franklin that was mostly about her own self, Madonna. And her speech began with how her music career started with $35 in her pocket. Again, these numbers aren't an accident. LeBron is 35 right now. So, with that said, I will open it up to calls. A lot of people have been calling in. But if you want to call in and add something, or you're aware of something that I didn't cover in this, or you got a question, if you want to call in, the number is 509-731-0567. 509-731-0567. The line is open. And we got our first call. What's up, Texas? Texas? Texas, if you can hear me, I can't hear you right now, so you're going to have to call back. Okay. Something wrong with the connection there. The line's still open. Caller?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah. What's up? You're on.
All right, we'll do. Can you hear me?
I hear you. Can you hear me?
All right. Hey, Zach, this is Caesar. I actually sent you an email with pictures from the Masonic Museum in Washington, D.C.
Right. Right.
Did you get those? It was a picture of a book pretty much proving everything you're saying. I actually got it about 2 years ago. I sent you a bunch of pictures on your email.
Dude, I get so many emails and text messages, so I don't have it off the top of my head. But if you want to send it again to Gematria Effect News and title it Masonic Book with Evidence.
Yeah, I will. But I could just sum it up really quick. Pretty much it backs everything you're saying, and I got it from the Scottish Rite Masonic Museum. I was at a library. They let us take pictures, no video. But I took a picture of it, and it was crazy because, I found you right after Mac Miller died. And it was like a couple months later, me and my roommate, we ended up going to D.C. And we went to the Scottish Rite Masonic Museum, and it pretty much talks about it. And like in the title of the page, it says Kabbalah and the Secret Doctrine of Israel.
Okay.
And it pretty much breaks down everything. It's got a huge picture of the 13 names of God, which ties into Kabbalah. And what's interesting enough is a couple years ago, I don't know if you remember, about 2010, Kabbalah got really big because of Madonna and that bullshit with the red string or whatever.
Right, that's the Kabbalah Thread of Life, right?
Yeah. And so my sister got really into it, and I started reading on it, and I found it kind of interesting. But this was like before I went down the rabbit hole of of the secret societies, the Masons, the Jesuits, and all that. But it gave me a good foundation to understand their practices or whatever. But yeah, I sent you a picture, and I'll send it again. But I find it very significant to all your work because of the source that we got it from, which was the Masons themselves. They're so arrogant that they literally had it right there, and we could take pictures of it, and they didn't even care. It was honestly unbelievable.
Indeed, man. Well, I look forward to that. I appreciate that. Yeah, please send that to me. Sounds like a great piece of information. Thank you so much, caller. Keep it up.
All right, man.
All right, take care. Caller?
Yes. Hey, Zach. How's it going, man?
It's going well. How are you?
Doing all right. Just a couple things. I just didn't know if you had caught it or if anyone has mentioned it yet, but LeBron had Mamba for Life written on his shoes last night as well. Did anyone bring that up to you?
Mamba for Life? Did he spell it with the number 4, or did he write out FOR?
It was definitely the number 4.
Really? 4 is associated with death from the Far East because you pronounce the word four and death the same way. So here's what I noticed in that right away. Mamba. So for people, okay, I got to tell people who are watching right now on the screen, Derek, who built this calculator, he changed the settings on here, and he shouldn't have, because now it does taboo gematria. So if I write in 4, it's going to change this, which is interesting because Mamba for Life, if this is considered taboo gematria. If a number's in a sentence, you're supposed to disregard it. You can use it, but it's considered kind of taboo. So Mamba for Life does equal 59 like Mamba. It's also 66 like Lakers, like LeBron James. But really what's more pure is right here. And you can change the settings on here. You go to options and you just turn this off, this number calculation. And now if I put in the 4, this is true gematria. It doesn't change anything. I can put in any number up here. It's not going to change anything. But Mamba for Life, right away, I just see the 62 like sacrifice, like Faustian bargain, like how Kobe's now dead on the 62nd day of the Grammys. And then I see the 35, because King James is 35. And we were just talking about that. Svengali's 35. I see the 181. That's the 42nd prime number. Well, his calculator's not working. 181 is the 42nd prime, like LeBron James is 42, like Lakers is 42, like the number stamped all over Black history. And then I see the 55, because that's another sacrifice number. And Los Angeles Lakers also sums to 257, which is the 55th prime number. And yeah, so there's definitely something in what was written on his shoe. I didn't know that. So Mamba number 4 Life, huh?
Yeah, Mamba for Life. And another thing is that I don't know if I just caught it last night or if they had been doing it, but the 76ers had a logo on their court of a snake on both ends of a court. It was like a snake logo, and it was chopped up into like pieces.
Okay, I'm gonna check that out. I'll look into that. So that's something about the founders and like the "Don't Tread on Me" logo in early days of the country, because Philadelphia used to be the capital city. So I'll look at that. There's probably a riddle with that.
Okay. Have you? Has anyone ever brought up the MSNBC reporter and what she said?
About what?
They were reporting the death of Kobe Bryant, and the MSNBC reporter, I'm guessing it was some kind of teleprompter, something wrong with the teleprompter, but she said the Los Angeles niggers.
Oh, wow. And again, Lakers equals 42 like the N-word like LeBron James. She's probably told to do that.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But, you know, people are after her job right now.
That's the way the world works, man. Just get people in the outrage real quick. Just, get all their focus on this. Anger, outrage, sadness. That's how they want us, man. That's what this is all about. Programming a negative vibration always. So that's the thing for the public.
Without a doubt. But, yeah, that's all I had, though, Zach. I appreciate everything, man, and appreciate the work you do, and just continue to go ahead and wake up more people, man.
Will do. Going down to Louisiana to do it this week. Thanks, friend. You take care.
All right, you too.
All right, see you, man. Caller, what's up?
Hey, Zach.
Hey.
Man, I feel for everybody. You know, this is Kirk in Texas, Legardo. Anyway, man, I haven't talked to you in about, 4 months. But, yeah, this day is something to remember. I'm kind of conundrum on it, you know, this feeling I'm having about this day. My stepson adopted at 12. He loved Kobe.
Sure.
And he's taking it hard, and it's, you know, I'm trying to explain the gematria to him, and he really doesn't get it. But you know, I'm just feeling for everybody. You know, we got this Pro Bowl going on. We got this Corona shit going. You know, Kobe today.
What you're saying right now. What you're saying right now about how we're just overwhelmed with so many big things. You notice how just a couple weeks ago people thought we were going to World War III. You didn't even mention that. It's already, you know, it's down the memory hole. We're buried with all this new stuff, and that's how it is in America. Just always getting buried with fear and negativity. It's just nonstop.
Yeah, and you know, I live a real humble life, and even on me today, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. I'm able to sit and observe, and it's really, it's just like you say, Zach, these people are by the numbers, and I don't know how the hell they do it, but they do it.
I'll tell you how they do it. Arithmetic. Elementary mathematics.
Yeah, it's mathematics, and I love math. I loved math, man. You know, I grew up in Smithfield. I was in there with that damn actress, Sandra Bullock.
Right.
And you know, back then we didn't have cell phones, computer, or nothing. You know, we were just normal kids. But you know, I'm 59 now, and observing what's going on, you're right. It's a code, and it's against the Christian heart.
Well, it's against any decent person, man. It's evil.
You know, and Zach, I keep you in prayer, brother. You know, I know you work hard on this shit, and I just feel for everybody today. You know, it's especially the Bryant family. You know, is this true, or do they kill people and they go underground? You know, is that the deal? Everybody's going to move underground. They're going to kill us with Corona.
Again, I don't really know. I don't know the answer to that question. That's the piece I want. I hope to get. I don't know if you heard the interview I just did with Larry Johnson this past Wednesday of the Kansas City Chiefs, but I asked him about the murder rituals, and he thought that this is definitely going on. So I can ask him if he thinks some of the deaths are fake. If I get him back on, I'd love to talk to him again about it. But maybe he has some insight there too. So we'll see.
Yeah, I was trying to explain to my wife. You know, I said, you know, Zach just come out with the LeBron passed the Kobe Bryant record, and then this. You know, it's
Well, it's like you don't even need gematria, right? It's like, okay, Kobe's a big story yesterday because he gets passed by LeBron in his hometown, Philly, and then he dies the next day? I mean, come on.
Right. And, the news, I saw the news when it first come out, it said 5 dead,
That's how, and think about that, because it's championship related. That's how many championships Kobe has, 5.
Right. Okay, Zach. Anyway, take some more callers. I love you, brother, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, keep trying with your son. All right, take care, man.
All right, I love you.
All right,
Bye-bye.
appreciate it, man. Take care. Okay, and again, for all the people calling in right now, remember, it is just a cell phone. I can only take one call at a time. So you just got to hit it when the line's open. And right now it is, and funny enough, we missed like 8 calls during that, but we got an open line. So next caller up. And by the way, you guys, if you want to support the GoFundMe, again, I'm going down to Louisiana to wake up students about these rituals of murder and sports. This has already been planned, and now this happened. I just got one more thing to talk about this week, but we haven't quite hit the goal yet. Caller?
Yeah, this is the caller. Correct. This is Corey.
Yeah, you're on. What's up?
Oh, great. What am I talking?
Are you calling in to talk to the live stream right now? This is Gematria Effect News. Zachary K. Hubbard. What's up?
Yes. I just wanted to find out. Have you heard of Brian Toohey before? He's written a couple books on actually how all the pro sports are actually fixed. You actually referenced him by chance?
Is he Field of Schemes? Is he the author of that?
Yeah, he's got 2 books, and The Fix is In and The Fix is Still In on Amazon. He basically says basically they're admitting in these books that pro wrestling is the same as pro football. It's all this entertainment companies, so
Yeah.
it's legally fixed.
I'm aware of him, and I support his message, but I'm suspicious of him because it's been a few years since I tried to reach out to him, but he actually promoted somebody who stole my content and work and wasn't communicating with me, so I'm suspicious of that dude. He promoted somebody who stole my content and gave them the credit for it one time, like on a blog post or wherever he posts online, and that was brought to my attention. I was like, maybe that's why he's also not communicating with me, so he might even be part of the fix too.
Oh, I agree. But I think they want you to know it's fixed. But I think they realize people don't want to. They still won't even believe it. But I think those books are pretty much proof, and on Amazon that they're saying, yeah, this is fixed, and they're going to tell you about as much as they possibly can without telling you, what you say. But I just thought he might be fun to reference on the show because they kind of pretty much admitted on Amazon that these things are entertainment companies. Are just like wrestling. Same exact, ESPN, the first letter is entertainment, right? ESPN, they tell you in the ESPN logo, right? Entertainment.
Right.
I thought you might want to bring it up anyway. I love your work.